Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are on the way to 11,100 subscribers. And if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. There's a few things to talk about from an Arsenal perspective. The Arsenal fixtures, well, all of the Premier League fixtures came out today. So we'll talk about Arsenal's fixtures. Look, ultimately, you played the same 19 teams, home and away. That's how the Premier League works. But there are some things to take from it. A little bit of transfer news. We'll be talking about the Euros, obviously. I will be live straight after this on Tifo. Link is down in the description to Tifo. I will be live on Tifo to do a watch-along of Real Madrid, Portugal against Czech Republic. Cristiano Ronaldo is starting. We are on Ronaldo watch. So I'm excited for that. There's loads of you here as well. Good to see you. Pekka, Vivi Vlad, Jax Hacks, Anu Brata, El Minister, Sportcat, Alex Suter. Why so late? During the Euros, the streams are going to be starting at this time, 7:15, because it's the only gap between the two Euros games, right? So imagine we'd been live and I'd have missed Turkey versus Georgia then, which was an absolute banger of a game. I'd have been fuming. Hyper, good to see you. Icarus, Ethan Udall as well. Good to see you. Ross Lawman. Villa away will be an important game. They're all important games. But you're right. Chelsea actually have the worst fixture schedule at the beginning of the season. The fact that we need to play 2 pointless Conference League qualifiers in the middle of August is so frustrating. Yeah, that is quite unlucky. Getting Man City on the opening day as well. That's tough. That is tough. There we go. What a game. Yeah, what a game. Thoughts on Kadioglu's performance? You really impressed me. Yeah, look, I was keeping an eye on Ferdi Kadioglu. Obviously, we were linked to him earlier in the summer. There was quite a lot of links suggesting that Arsenal were really interested in Kadioglu, and I thought he looked good. I thought there were elements of his game that you'd want him to improve on. Probably his final ball needed a bit of work. A couple of times he was getting a bit too carried away in an attacking sense. But no, I thought he was good. I did think he was good. Aaron, $5 super chat. Thank you very, very much. He says, shout out to my country. What a game. Shout out to your country. And shout out to Arda Güler and Mulder. 2 absolute banging goals. And do you know what? This is what football is like when Pep Guardiola's grubby little mitts aren't on it. You know, he's ruined football. This is what football was meant to be. End to end. Exciting football. Taking risks. Taking chances. It was fantastic. Why do we have to face a Big Six club for the second season in a row? Well, basically, it's to do with the fact that Big Six clubs aren't allowed to... No, it's not Big Six clubs. Top 6 clubs are not allowed to face each other on the opening day or the final day of the season. But because you've been finishing outside of the top 6, and especially with the 12th place finish, you're no longer... that top 6 thing is based on like a 3-year running average of your position. So Chelsea are no longer considered part of the top 6, which makes it quite likely, if you're not part of the top 6, that you'll face one of the top 6 in the opening game. So it's kind of just unlucky. I was having heart attacks. Our defense is poor. Yeah, the defense wasn't great. Yeah, it's a 3-year running thing, Sportcat. So it was because you finished 12th the year before it. That really screwed you. Finishing 12th really screwed you. Yeah, towards the end of that Turkey-Georgia game, oh my God. I mean, Georgia should have scored. You know, there was that one opportunity in like the 92nd minute where 2 of them both tried to shoot and kind of got in each other's way. And then hitting the post, and then how that rebound hasn't ended up in. Unbelievable. But that 3rd goal could come in useful, you know, when it comes down to the random, like, best 3rd place finishes and stuff like that. If you end up in 3rd, that extra goal could be really useful. So with the congestion in the season coming up, it would be suicidal to not keep ESR and Vieira and Tommy and Kivior. Possibly, yeah, we'll talk about that. We will talk about the fixture congestion. Because the fixture congestion is absolutely crazy. Ornstein says Arsenal's priority midfield again. Arsenal prioritise midfield. Yes, yeah. Ornstein said that Arsenal will be looking at the midfield again. So, look, maybe we're not going to get a striker. Interestingly, Ornstein also said a few minutes ago before I went live, Manchester United are in pole position to sign Joshua Zirkzee. They are really interested in him. So, Zirkzee, another one. chalked off the list, potentially. When do you expect this to make the first signing? Well, I think we'll do David Raya pretty quickly. So if David Raya counts, I think that'll be quite quick. Otherwise, I don't know. We're still not really being heavily linked to anyone. So how do they do the fixture? How do they actually do the fixtures? So basically, yeah, it's an algorithm basically, right? So there's a load of parameters. There are a load of parameters about who can play when. So like the big six can't play each other on the opening game of the season, can't play each other on the final day of the season. There can't be more than 2 big six teams playing against each other on any given weekend. So there have to be 26 different game weeks that include a big fixture. There are various things to do with geography. So they make sure that there can't be like 3 games in the same part of London at the same time. There's loads of parameters. And then within those parameters, it's random. But obviously that means it's not fully random, right? What do you think of Portugal's lineup? Let's have a little goosey gander at Portugal's lineup. I saw that Ronaldo was playing, and that was pretty much it. So here we go. Lineups. Costa in goal, Dalot, Pepe, Diaz, Mendes, Silva, Vitinha, and Bruno Fernandes. Cancelo, Ronaldo, Leao. Interesting, actually. João Cancelo at right wing. Despite the fact that they have some legitimate right wingers, they've got Conceição, they've got Pedro Neto. No real. Well, I guess Vitinha's the most defensive midfielder, but they've not opted for like a João Neves or a João Palhinha. I mean, it's an incredibly strong bench. You look at that bench. It's incredibly strong. It's an interesting lineup. Obviously, the Czech team is basically going to be a deep 5-3-2, effectively. You know, Dudera and Kufal are going to be wing-backs, and that will be a filthy 5-3-2, which will make it difficult for Portugal. But yeah, no, it's an interesting lineup. That is an interesting lineup. Yeah, Cancelo at right wing, supposedly. Silva's on the wing, not Cancelo. Okay, so yeah, maybe what? So João Cancelo in midfield then, maybe. Yeah, probably, possibly. Not too sure. Disappointed that João Neves isn't starting. Was looking forward to seeing him play. Yeah, I don't think he's really broken into the Portuguese team yet, to be fair. I would use Ronaldo for the final 30 minutes of games. Not sure about starting him. Political pick for me. Sponsors would have forced it. I don't know about the sponsors forcing it, but Ronaldo's Ronaldo. You know, there is an element of pressure there to start him. Love no Christmas St. Mary's trip for you. Yeah, but Ross, we're going to St. Mary's on the final day of the season instead. I don't think that's any better. Our final game of the season is Southampton away. The opening game of the season is Wolves at home. We've got a tough start. Our start to the season is tough. Within the opening 5 games, we go Wolves at home. Then I think it's Villa away, Brighton at home, Spurs away, City away. So Villa away, Spurs away, and Man City away, all within the first 5 games. The first Champions League game sits between Spurs away and City away. So it is quite a difficult start to the season. Within the first 14 games, which I tweeted about this and people were like, well, 14 games, that's basically halfway. It's not. It's only just over a third of the way into the season. By the 14th game, which is at the start of December, we will have played all of the Big Six. 3 of those 5 games against the Big Six will have been away from home. Tottenham away, City away, Chelsea away. And we'll have played Villa away and Newcastle away, which is arguably outside of the Big Six, the next 2, really tough away games. So that first 14 games, very tough. But equally, I don't mind that coming at the start of the season. We're more likely to have a fully fit squad at that point. Players are more likely to be fresh. So I don't mind it too much. But the end of our season is quite nice. So I think on the 3rd of December, we play Man United at home. The rest of December is really nice. Weirdly, if you take Man United, the first game of December, if you take that out of it, the exact same games that we have in December are the exact games we have in April in terms of the teams. It's like Brentford, Palace, Ipswich, Fulham, and someone else. But our running is nice. Our running is nice. We play, I think our third final game is at Anfield. But outside of that, the other 7 games in the 8 in the run-in are really quite nice. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. What's the teams in May? I think May is basically Liverpool away, Newcastle at home, Southampton away as the final game. Man City have a really easy last 4 games. Seems like they never play a big team in the run-in. Man City always have the easiest run-in. Like, I don't care what you say, they just do. Because even with us, we've got Anfield 3 games out from the end of the season. Within Man City's final 10 games, the only difficult game is United. And that's not, these days, that's not really difficult. So, yeah, it always happens. City always just seems to get a really easy run-in, which is frustrating. Chelsea has Man City first game. Yeah, Chelsea got unlucky with it. But when's the UCL draw? 29th of August. Yeah, some people were getting confused by that. There is a Champions League draw tomorrow. The Champions League draw tomorrow is for the qualifiers. So to actually qualify for the Champions League itself. They start tomorrow. Yeah, 29th of August is the Champions League draw. But, so this is the crazy thing with the fixture congestion, right? From the 14th of September, so on the 14th of September, we play against Spurs away. That's straight after, there's an international break. Basically the first 2 weeks of September is an international break. We come back from that, we play Spurs away, and from Spurs away, potentially until the end of January, so from the middle of September to the end of January, 5.5 months, there is a good chance we don't have a single midweek break. So there are 2 more international breaks in that time, but outside of that, we are playing every single weekend and midweek if we get to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. But on the assumption that we do, we basically have no midweeks free. The fixture congestion, because of those extra 2 Champions League games, it's just absolutely crazy. And so, yeah, you're right. In terms of the squad depth, I wouldn't mind still having players on the books, even if like I said, where we might have to choose between Kivior and Tomiyasu even being in the squad. Mate, we're going to get injuries. That level of fixture congestion, there's just no way. There's just no way. Arteta needs to learn how to rotate the squad. Yeah, he will do. He will need to learn how to rotate the squad. Are we going to play in the Community Shield, or will it be Manchester Derby because United won the FA Cup? Yeah, it's the Manchester Derby. We're not in the Community Shield. It is the Community Shield has always been the winner of the FA Cup against the winner of the Premier League. Lots of people. The only reason it isn't ever that, like it wasn't last season, is if the same team wins the Premier League and the FA Cup, then it's the runner-up in the Premier League that takes the space. I'm happy with the draw. Just hope we don't lose points against smaller teams. Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing. Always is. But I've missed the stream again. It's all right. Carter, we're only 15 minutes in, Carter. It's all good. Is Masked Mbappe going to be even better than regular Mbappe? It can go either way. It can go either way. Some masked players, unbelievable. Some, terrible. Fernando Torres with a mask, awful. Yeah, Carter, we start the streams at 7:15 now. During the Euros, we're starting them at 7:15, so you're all good. Won the league at Anfield, Old Trafford and Shite Hart Lane. Let's add St James's Park to that list. Or Anfield. Oh, no, we've already done Anfield. Anfield twice. The ref was terrible with the subs yesterday. The ref was just terrible in general yesterday. My green name is gone. Pain. But look, in terms of transfer news today, because there is some of it, the main thing, I guess, was Guehi, which is in the title and thumbnail. Again, this is coming from Court Offside. It's coming from Court Offside, so take it with a pinch of salt. But according to Court Offside, sources with a close understanding of the situation have told Court Offside that Arsenal and Newcastle are keen on Mark Guehi, and both clubs could try to negotiate by making opening bids for the player. Crystal Palace are understood to value Guehi at around 50 million, which Arsenal and Newcastle consider too high. I think 50 million for Guehi isn't too bad. In the grand scheme of things, 50 million for a centre-back of his age, English, playing for England, really, I thought played well against Serbia. Crystal Palace fans think he's unbelievable. I don't think 50 million is too bad for him. So, do I think that is 50 million that we need to spend as a priority? No. I think there are better ways of spending 50 million right now than on Guehi. But at 23 years old, the level of Premier League experience he already has under his belt, yeah, I don't think you could go wrong for 50 million. Now, I don't think we could get him for 50 million. I'm not, from what I've seen other things saying that Crystal Palace value him at 65 million, and then that's a different story. But for 50 million, I don't think that would be bad at all. Would he want to be a backup at Arsenal, though? Well, this is always the problem, right? This is always the problem. Are players going to want to be backups? Maybe, maybe not. Does he want to win things? That's the other question. If he wants to win things, he needs to come to Arsenal or City. Does he start for either of them? Maybe, maybe not. You know, he's got to fight for the place. He's got to fight for the place. But that's just the reality now, is that you need players that are as good as Guehi as depth if you want to go a long way in every competition. That's just how it is. I doubt he'd be on the bench every game. Yeah, he wouldn't be on the bench every game. He wouldn't be on the bench every game. Arsenal can sign Onana and Fofana for 70 mil and can still sign an attacker and a centre-back. Possibly. I don't know that either Onana or Fofana individually are good enough to carry us to the next level, but was it weird for you seeing Saliba at left centre-back? Seems more like the manager doing all he can to lower Saliba's rep. No, I don't think he's trying to lower Saliba's rep. I just think he doesn't think that Upamecano can do it. Right? So, you know, I thought Saliba was decent yesterday. I know a lot people went so over the top trying to criticize Saliba, like to the point of absolute embarrassment. Antonio Silva for 45 million? Not for me. Are we still going for Gyökeres? We're not really linked to him at the moment, which is frustrating, but did you see Ben Jacobs link us to Fofana today? No, actually, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. What did he say? Fofana and a different midfielder? Yeah, I don't think you need Fofana and Onana. What did... let me just see what Ben Jacobs said about Fofana. Just in from Ben Jacobs. Arsenal and AC Milan are tracking use of Fofana. The 25-year-old is expected to leave Monaco this summer with a deal likely for over 15 million quid. I mean, 15 million quid for Fofana, just do it. 15 million quid for Fofana, do it. Absolutely do it. Absolutely. 15 million quid in this market. That's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't need to start. But in terms of, if you're effectively saying he can come in for El Neni as that level of player, and then when Jorginho leaves next summer, you've got him. I mean, that's unbelievable. Maybe Arteta wants a back three? I don't think so. Less than what we pay for Sambi? Yeah, exactly. It's not like he's old. He's 25. He's just entering his prime. My Nam would go for more than 15 million? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. No striker would be silly. Well, it's interesting you say that. So this came out from Tom Canton today, which is, I don't know if Tom Canton has anyone in the club that he speaks to. Obviously, Tom is Gooner Talk. If you've ever come across Gooner Talk, that's Tom. Works for Football London as well. But according to him, Arsenal will not make a rash decision following Benjamin Sesko's contract renewal. Football London understands that a move for Victor Osimhen is unlikely at this stage and have not heard anything to support claims of an offer being imminent. So we'll see. And like I said, Ornstein earlier on saying that it does look like we're prioritizing a 6 or an 8 ahead of a striker. I think someone else then also said that we are looking at probably more likely going to get a 6 than an 8. That Arsenal think that the market for 6s is better than the market for 8s this summer, which most likely would then mean that Declan Rice would be, would have to play as the 8, which is fine. Like I said, I really don't mind whether it's a 6 or an 8 that we get because Rice can adapt either way. Yeah, I think Gunnerblog said it. Yeah, I think Gunnerblog said it. Xavi Simon's loan. We spoke about it yesterday. I mean, I would love it. I would love it. And then the other thing from Gunnerblog today, and this is good news, Arsenal have persuaded Karl Hein to stay at the club, with the goalkeeper expected to sign a new contract imminently. It is logical that a loan move will be the next step in the 22-year-old's development. That's come from Gunnerblog. I disagree with him. I disagree completely with that. So Arsenal have persuaded Karl Hein to stay. That's very good. On the assumption that we lose Aaron Ramsdale this summer, Karl Hein will be one of the squad goalkeepers. We can't afford to send him out on loan. At that point, we would have, if Karl Hein went out on loan and we sold Aaron Ramsdale, we would have David Raya, and then the only other goalkeeper at the club would be under 18. Which I believe is Arthur Okonkwo's brother. So Arthur Okonkwo's brother is at the club. I can't remember his first name now. But he's under 18. And so unless we then went out and bought 2 goalkeepers to be the second and third choice, which you just don't do, I think Karl Hein stays. Hopefully, if he does go on loan, it would actually be good. Not like most where they get 5 games all season. Yeah, I just don't think he can. Brian Okonkwo, that is his name. Thank you, Tibo. Thoughts on Ferdi Kadioglu? I thought he looked decent overall. He's got pace. That was refreshing to see. He has got wheels. He's really good at taking players on as well. To be honest, he feels like a kind of, he's almost a winger. He's almost a winger that can play at left back. Was kind of how it felt to me, but letting Arthur Okonkwo go on a free was really unfortunate. It was unfortunate. Rice is far better as a 6 than an 8. It depends. With the way that we play, I actually think he's quite good as an 8. I think he offers a lot going forwards. Thoughts on Mika Biereth? Need to see more of him. Look, he's looked good on loan at Motherwell and Sturm Graz, but there's levels to it, right? There are levels to it. Chiesa. I'm not a huge fan of Chiesa, to be honest. I think we should seriously consider Gula if we're looking at Simons. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be talking about Arda Gula now after the goal that he scored today, aren't they? Wharton to Arsenal for 40 million? No chance. You're not familiar with Crystal Palace's game. You are not familiar with Crystal Palace's game. Wharton will be far more than 40 million. I agree we need Kimmich. I missed the show earlier, so sorry if this was covered. Do we know the price for Kimmich? I've read everything from 25 million to 75 million. Kimmich would probably be somewhere in the middle of that. I would imagine Kimmich would be between 40 and 50 million. Obviously, age goes a little bit against him. But Arsenal did a loan watch video for him and not other loanees, so he might be in our plan. Possibly. I mean, he needs to stay at the club. I'd like to see him go out on loan again, personally, but who do you think will get Eze? Got a bad feeling he ends up at Spurs, but I don't know if they'll pay the money. He just feels like a bit of a Spurs player. Look at Rice's shot creating actions. That's why he should play 6 in our system. Yeah, but you've got to think about who we can potentially bring in as a 6. It's all about trying to find the right combination. And if the market just isn't there for an 8, you go and get a 6. We have to sign someone this summer. We have to sign at least one midfielder this summer. Any new info on Walters, Odie, Martin Obi? No. So we're still waiting. They've got until the end of June. What's it now? The 18th. So they've got 12 days. They've got 12 days to sort out deals for Walters, Obi Martin, and Cozy Adubri. Actually, no, I think Chido Obi Martin's still in a Chido isn't out of contract, as far as I'm aware, in the same way that Dubry and Walters are. No worries, Devin. Good to see you. Have any players impressed you in the Euros who you weren't already impressed by? Not that I wasn't already impressed by him, but N'Golo Kante should be back in the Premier League. We should go for N'Golo Kante. I'm not even joking. I know he's had injury issues, but N'Golo Kante is still just ridiculously elite. Like, ridiculously elite. If you can keep him fit by not having to play him too much, unbelievable. Hanko was good for Slovakia. He was kind of already on my radar, but he was impressive. Off topic, but do you think Zaire Emery will be one of the great midfielders in the future? Possibly. He looks talented. He does look talented. Which midfielder you would prefer for Arsenal? It's tough. It's tough. I really do like the look of João Neves, but I can't justify 120 million euros for him. Bruno G is brilliant, but again, 100 million I think is a bit steep. Douglas Luiz, I'd really have put that. I really would have liked Douglas Luiz, especially at that price. But I don't think that was ever available. Who else is out there? Kimmich, I like. Do you think we keep Partey this season and let his deal expire with the congestion? Depends who we buy. It depends who we buy. Any news on Bruno G? Not really. Just that apparently City do not want to trigger his release clause. Yeah, Veerman. Veerman looks decent. But again, I'm not sure he's quite at the level. Barella is quality. Barella is quality. But yeah, they don't need the money. That's the only issue with him. They don't really need the money. Would you take Eze? I'd love Eze. I'd love Eze. Mate, that versatility, 100%. 100%. Yeah, we sold Turner. Matty Turner. To be honest, we actually did all right to get the money we got for him. We didn't get crazy money for him. I think we made a profit on him. Are you going to watch any games on Tifo from Copa America? Probably not. They're all a bit late. So probably not. Yildiz was good. Yildiz was good. Vitinha will cook today. Yeah, I'll be watching Vitinha. I will be watching Vitinha. I'll be watching everyone, but sell Smith Rowe and get Eze? Maybe. Look, anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards because we are starting now. Clue number 1, this player is 32 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 32 years old. Clue number 2, they played 145 games for Arsenal. Clue number 2, they've played 145 games for Arsenal. Clue number 3, they won the FA Cup with Arsenal in 2020. Clue number 3, they won the FA Cup with Arsenal in 2020. Clue number 4, they currently play in the Premier League, but not for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they currently play in the Premier League, but not for Arsenal. And clue number 5, they made more appearances for Bayer Leverkusen than any other side. Clue number 5, they made more appearances for Bayer Leverkusen than any other side. I actually saw some people get that early on. There were people that got that early, which was impressive. Maybe even just off the age. Make sure I don't get VAR checked. No, there you go. The winner is Jax Hacks. It was Burnt Leno, and Jax Hacks got it first. I don't even know if he was just throwing out names, to be honest. I'm not even sure if there had been a clue at that point, but Jax Hacks got it first. Yoel got it second. Then there was a big gap. After that. Jesus. Yeah, those two were clear of everyone else. Sportcat got it third. Chelsea fan putting you to shame. Ethan Udall got it fourth. And KZNX got it fifth. So there you go. Congratulations to Jack Sachs. Wait. Oh, we're getting VAR checked. How have I been VAR checked? There were about 4 messages before it came through. Oh my God. Sportcat literally sent it the message after my message went through. That's insane. I mean, that is insane. How have you guessed that? Why have you guessed that? I mean, he wins. I'm sorry, Jack Sachs. I'm sorry. How have you guessed that? Why have you guessed that? You've guessed Leno for Guess the Gooner for weeks? Well, there you go. Congratulations. It paid off. It paid off. Unbelievable. You remember Pekka did it for Ramsey? He did. He did. I didn't realise that you always guessed Leno. There you go. What a moment for you. It finally came in clutch. It finally came in clutch. There you go. And now it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right was the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Sportcat currently has. Now, it is Guess the Non-Gooner that Sportcat is actually goated at. But here we go. This player started their career in the Dortmund Youth Academy. Started their career at the Dortmund Youth Academy. They went on loan to Feyenoord. They then moved permanently from Dortmund to Real Madrid. Whilst at Real Madrid, they went on loan to Liverpool. They then went on loan to Borussia Dortmund. They then moved permanently from Real Madrid to Borussia Dortmund. They then moved to Werder Bremen. They then moved to Antalyaspor. Dortmund, Feyenoord on loan, Real Madrid permanently, Liverpool on loan, Dortmund permanently, Werder Bremen permanently, Antalyaspor permanently. Who is the player? Slightly tricky one today, to be honest with you. It was a slightly tricky one today. The winner is... he's done it. The winner is Sportcat. It's just he is the Guess the Non-Gooner goat. It's as simple as that. He spelt it wrong. He then got it again anyway. It was Nuri Sahin. Nuri Sahin. Sportcat got it. Osama was second. Francisco Oliveira was third. Oslo Gooner was fourth. And Ethan Udall was fifth. So there you go. The dirty double. His first ever dirty double. A cheeky dirty double from Sportcat. That is the first guess. That is the first dirty double in a while. Yeah, it is. Who is Sahin? Respect Nuri Sahin, please, Carter. No, to be fair, you are a youngster, Carter. I mean, he was at Liverpool when you were like 5. So yeah, fair. Sportcat hacked in, and I think he was the one who kept turning your TV on yesterday. Yeah, maybe I'm getting hacked. Score prediction for tonight. I've gone 3-2 to Portugal. The predictions game, the UEFA predictions game. Here we. In fact, we'll have a quick little gander at how it's going before we end the stream. Remember, I will literally be jumping straight from this stream over to Tifo for the watch along. So Tifo link down below if you want to go and watch the watch along with me. I came close. I predicted 2-1. This was a disgrace. I predicted 2-1 between Turkey and Georgia, and it was 2-1 until the 97th minute, which was a bit fraudulent. Obviously, I predicted 3-1 to France. It ended 1-0. And we've gone 3-2 between Portugal and Czechia. So in terms of how the league is going, I am still top of the league. Amar catching up. Michael doing all right as well. Fantasy not going so well. Fantasy, look at that. 763rd. That is terrible. I've got Ronaldo, Bruno. That's it. I've got Ronaldo and Bruno tonight. But overall, it's not gone well. Mbappe was useless. But there we go. Veerman didn't impress. Proof you can't focus on FOTMob stats. Yeah, look, so sometimes the greenery has to be backed up. The greenery does have to be backed up. Has the PS5 made a recovery? We'll find out tonight. We will find out tonight. I was able to play a bit of FIFA on it today, so we'll see. Anyway, look, that is going to be the end of this stream. I will literally be live on Tifo in 5 minutes' time for the watch along. I appreciate you all for joining. If you could like and subscribe before you leave, that would be awesome. I'll be back live tomorrow, 7:15 once again. And I'll be live on Twitch later as well. All that good stuff. But until then, have a fantastic evening if you're not joining the watch along. And I will catch you when I catch you. Goodbye.